Now the question is this: how do I get God's presence? I want to advance with God's presence, but how do I get God's presence? I've been told that there are 3 levels of God's presence: universal presence of God, indwelling presence of God, and manifesting presence of God. So how do I get the manifesting presence of God? You get the manifesting presence of God after you have gotten the indwelling presence of God. Then how do I receive the indwelling presence of God? Maybe that is the topic I should be speaking on today. How do I get indwelling presence of God in order to have the manifesting presence of God? I don't just want the days to be rolling by. I don't want the months to be going. January has gone this year. February has gone. I'm still at the same spot. I've not seen any difference in my life. I think that is because the manifesting presence of God has not showed up yet. And so how do I get this manifesting presence of God? That may be the question in so many people's mouth, and which I trust God to give me the utterance to answer the question today, at least to an extent. May I tell us that the first thing I must do, or you must do, for God to move inside you, to go into you, is if you can avoid that sin that Adam and Eve committed from the beginning, that made God not to be dwelling in them but to be visiting them, that made God to ask them, where are you? And that sin was the sin of disobedience. If we can begin to obey God fully in everything He says, in every direction or directives He gives to us, if you can attend to His words with obedience, whatsoever He says, we believe it and we do it, God will like to move inside that person. If God did not tolerate Adam and Eve, even for a second, as soon as they obeyed the devil, God is not about entering into any vessel or anybody who obeys the devil and disobey him. God does not dwell in disobedience vessels. God cannot live in disobedient vessels. Those who say no to God, when He speaks to them, God has nothing to do entering into their lives. And such people will not be able to advance with God. They'll be moving from Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday, and so on, from week to week, month to month, without the indwelling presence of, and without the manifesting presence of God. If you don't obey God, God will not manifest through you. In which case, your troubles will still lie with you. The sicknesses will remain. The afflictions cannot go, because if devil gives you troubles and afflictions, it's only the presence of God that can chase him out. When that presence of God is not in you, oh my God, life will be so tormenting. And that's exactly what so many people are passing through today. And they feel that the God in others will answer all their questions and keep them in comfort. No, God has not made it that way. If you have not given Him permission to pack into you and live in you and manifest through you, mountains and obstacles may continue to beset you. Because only God can do those things which no man can do. He said that every good and every perfect gift comes from God, comes from above. A man or a woman or anybody can receive nothing except it is given to him by God. That's why so many people have uncles and nephews and relations and friends. They don't receive any help from them because God has not commanded them. Without the command of God, you get nothing from men. Promotion does not come from the east or west. Native doctors or shrines, idols or friends or well-wishers or bad wishers cannot promote you.